What's up, everyone? Elvis Justice here, and today again I come with the weekly outlook. Last week was an exciting week. Was a very exciting week. We caught 480 pips on just trading, more than 480 pips, actually 580 pips on US30. This was the trade sent on the 1% trading circle. This is the general community, and we hit 200 points here. That's like 200 pips, my profits here. And we also took we had a break even on gold, actually came back to 100 pips, but came to TP2 around 70 pips and went back to entry. So we closed it, and we had another trade on US30, almost 150 pips on US30. We also had another US30 trade this time, I think somewhere, yeah, that was also on a Monday or something, right? We had almost 100 pips on US30. And today I want to break, I've received a lot of questions. How did I, get all these straight? Let me break it down here. Let me delete everything on this. Now, what I saw on US30 was very simple. It was called, right? I took sales this whole week. It was called riding with the candle, right? Those on my course will tell you we use a fifth theorem, but this riding with the candle. What I only did was, just wait for this candle to close. This candle closed bearish. It broke below the previous lows here. When you go on the 4-hour time frame, you can see it's represented here where price broke, right, the previous lows here, and that, perturbed me to take sales to the downside. So it was just me just riding one candle, and price get breaking below this, and I closed at the previous support. I will also waited for price to, have a breakout of this. I took more sales, and I waited for price to get to the support, and when price broke out, retested, I took another. So it was just the 3 trades that I took for this week, and price is currently coming back to an area of support. So we'll see what happens here. If price gets to this support, if price gets to this support and rejects, I'll be looking for selling opportunity. But if price breaks above and retest, then that means I'll be looking for longs to the next. But I'm going to treat that more on the weekly outlook. So let's start with the weekly outlook. We are starting with the fundamentals. So this week, fundamentals, you're not going to see much on Forex Factory. It's going to be looking slow, but trust me, there are fundamentals in the system. Now, the US hits its highest debt rate, and that means that government has to print a lot of US dollars into the country. So the more there's going to be an imprint of US dollars, that means that there's going to be a push up on DXY. Also, on checking the BOC monetary policy rate report, last year was a bit disappointing with the rates in the Bank of Canada. Their rate statement was very disappointing. So I'm thinking they are looking forward to improve on that disappointing rate. So I wouldn't be surprised if that also increases. So if we have Canada increasing and the US printing more money into the system, that means it will lead to DXY pushing up, and that would cause DXY to push up, and what will happen is. But that isn't going to be done this week. This week is just going to be there's just going to be a preparation onto those statements. There's going to be a lot of board meetings, and that will happen. So I think before the board meetings will happen, there's still going to be more fake outs on DXY, and that will lead to after those meetings are settled, that's when we would have the hikes in the DXY to happen. Now, so this week there's not going to be a lot of fundamental basis, except of the two fundamental data or the two fundamental information that I gave out. That is what we are expecting this week. But this week on Forex Factory is going to be a bit boring. So let's start with what we're expecting. Let's start with DXY. For DXY is still ranging, right? DXY is still ranging, but the whole trend is still a downtrend on looking at the 4-hour time frame, and we are currently ranging, right? This is what I want to see on DXY. I want to see DXY is currently ranging, so I want to see price break below this level and retest, then we'll see more opportunities to the downside. Putting in the back of your head that there's going to be government making a decision to print more dollars into the system. If that happens, that means that DXY could also have have a fake move, then randomly or unexpectedly we'll have a hike up. So I'm looking at two biases on DXY, but technically this is what I'm looking at. Price has to break to the downside on the whole consolidation area, retest, and we'll see more price to the downside. I'm looking at 100.400 this week on DXY, but if that doesn't happen, and fundamentally, if the fundamentals also happens, that means you could have a fake out and a big hike up to DXY, and this DXY will start gaining more momentum to the upside. So that's what I'm looking for on DXY. Now let's start with XXX USD pairs. I love trading USD pairs, so mostly I analyze USD pairs, and that is it. I don't trade any other thing else. So with that said, on DXY, that means any selling opportunities that I see on Euro USD will give me more momentum to look for buying pressure to the upside, and my target for this week will be 109,500 on Euro USD, and this would be a simple trend line that you just need to draw here and just wait for price to retest this area before you look for longs on Euro USD. Similarly, on odd USD, I'm looking for the same bias. It's still bullish. Market is an uptrend. We are looking for buying opportunities, but I also want to see any selling opportunities to this side or this support area would be viewed as an opportunity to look for buying opportunities to the upside. So my target this week will be 0.70500 for this week on odd USD. Now let's talk about GBP USD. Similar structure, prices in an uptrend, and in an uptrend we are looking for buying opportunities. So any selling opportunities I'm going to see on GBP USD, any selling opportunities I'm going to see on GBP USD gives me the momentum to look for buying opportunities to the upside. My target is 1.24500 on GBP USD for this week. Now let's talk about NZD USD. NZD USD, similar structure. We are still looking for that similar structure on NZD USD. It's already retested this trend line, so we are looking for price to retest a previous support, whether this level or that level, before we see buying opportunities to the upside. My target for this week is 0.65200 on NZD USD this week. Now let's talk about USD CHF. Now USD CHF price is moving in a downtrend. That means we are looking for selling opportunities. So I'm looking for selling opportunities, but I want to see this happen. I would love to see this happen. Price hasn't broken below the lows yet of the 4-hour time frame. So I would love to see price fake a bit up to the previous resistance, failing to break the wick, then we will see price moving to the downside. So any buying opportunities you see on USD CHF this week should be viewed as an opportunity to look for selling opportunity to the downside. My target 0.91200 this week on USD CHF. Now let's talk about USD JPY. Also in a downtrend, we are looking for selling opportunities. Any buying opportunities I see, any fake out move, any move that I see to the upside, I would consider it as a fake out, and I would be looking for price to move to the downside to this target 127.100 on USD JPY. Now let's talk about USD CAD, the final currency pair that we are going to talk about before we talk about GBP JPY, because people have been asking me to talk about GBP JPY. Now USD CAD is still, yes, it's still bearish. Any buying opportunities I see on this on USD CAD will be viewed as an opportunity to look for selling opportunities to the downside 1.33200 on USD CAD. Now let's talk about GBP JPY, as many people have been requesting. Now GBP JPY, if you look at the 1D time frame, price is, if you look at the 1D time frame, price is ranging. So I'm trying to look for more selling setups here. So any buying opportunities I see on GBP JPY will be viewed as an opportunity to look for selling momentum to the downside. 154.00 should be my prime target area. Now let's talk about commodities. Let's talk about commodities. Let's talk about gold. Now, gold is still very, very bullish. You can see it's in an uptrend, a very, very strong, uptrend. So that means you are still looking for buying opportunities, not selling opportunities. Any sell that you are going to get should be viewed as retracement. So any selling opportunities that I see to the downside should be viewed as more opportunities to move to buy this pair, right? So any selling opportunities should be viewed as more opportunities to be looking for buying opportunities. I think when you draw a trend line here, it should make sense. So I wouldn't be surprised if price gets here and before it moves to the upside. My target for gold this week should be 1950 on gold. Now, talking about US oil, what I predicted the last time happened, but I'm still considerate on US oil. I don't want to rush in here because, price was ranging, right? Rejected this level, right? And came back. A lot of traders were thinking price will come to the previous support, but that didn't really happen. Price rejected this whole area, this whole support again. So that means that we are still stagnant here. We have nothing to do. Price is at the resistance area. We don't really know whether price will come to the downside or will break above. But I'm considering that if this happens, now, mind you, price broke above this was considered a fake out. We just want to see price break out, retest, move up again before we consider that as a bullish. Still, we see that I think USD oil is still very bearish because we are still at the resistance level, and any opportunities to the upside is viewed as selling opportunities to the downside. But I would love to see this happen. I would love to see the break retest before price up. So we are still waiting for confirmation on US oil. Now let's talk about stocks. My favorite trading pairs, US30, right? US30 is we are currently in a resistance level, right? Price is currently in a resistance level. We got here, the sales were done last week because when price got to the support area, price rejected and respected that level. This is what I want to see. Any buying opportunities or any selling opportunities I see on US30 for this week will be viewed as an opportunity to be looking for buying setup because price is already at a resistance level, right? Price is already at a resistance level. And let me put it this way, right? Let me just draw a zone so it makes sense to you guys, right? Any price is already at a resistance level. So that means that we are likely to see rejection. So any rejection that we see to the next support area should be viewed as an opportunity to look for buying opportunities on this week to this target. So my prime target for US30 this week should be 33,800 on US30. Now let's talk about NAS 100. NAS 100 to similar structure, right? Price is in an uptrend. We are looking for buying opportunities after price, respected this whole trend line here. And any selling opportunities I see on NASDAQ to this support area should be viewed as an opportunity to look for buying opportunities to the target 11,900 on NAS 100. So that is that for the weekly outlook this week. I didn't analyze any synthetics pair because this week I'm not trading synthetics. I'm trading synthetics actually, but there isn't really any move to talk about on synthetics. That's why I didn't really talk about synthetics this week. So that will be that for weekly outlook this week. The name is still Elvis Justice. Make sure to link in bio, register with my recommended broker, start trading with it, and link in bio also for my free Telegram community. And let's get the vibes. The name is still Elvis Justice, and I'm out. Peace.